got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though ambition, flow inside my DNA.
Elizabeth Keckly was born a slave in February 1818 in Dinwiddie, Virginia. Her mother was a house slave named Agens. Her father was their owner, Armistead Burwell. While Elizabeth and her mother were house slaves who were taught how to read and write, although illegal at the time, they were still slaves, forced to serve Burwell and his wife and their children. By 1832, 14-year-old Elizabeth was put on loan by Armistead to go and live with his eldest son. She was treated poorly and beaten severely for years. She was forced into a sexual relationship for several years with a prominent white man in the community and ended up pregnant and giving birth to a son in 1839. She was then sent to work for her half-sister Anne Burwell Garland and her family. The Garland family struggled financially and used Keckly's advanced sewing skills to help support the family. The Garland family ended up moving to St. Louis, Missouri in 1847, and they took Elizabeth, her son, and her mother with them to tend to their children and do the sewing for the family. After 12 years of living in Missouri, Keckly met and mingled with the large free black population living there. She also made connections with women in the white community who admired her sewing skills and the dresses that she made. When the Garland family had financial difficulties, they sold some slave children and hired out others, collecting the fees for their wages. Keckly and her mother remained with the mistress Anne Garland and her husband. Keckly's sewing helped support the family. After asking her half-sister and husband to free her for years, they finally agreed to release her in 1852 for the sum of $1,200. By 1855, with the help of some of her patrons who she made dresses for, she was able to buy her family's freedom. Elizabeth stayed in St. Louis to pay back those who helped her, and by 1860, she and her son moved to Baltimore, Maryland. Her intention was to teach young black women how to be seamstresses, but didn't have enough money to start. Through her dressmaking talent, Elizabeth made many friends in high places, eventually getting a job to work directly for Mary Todd Lincoln, President Abraham Lincoln's wife. During the Lincoln administration and many years afterwards, Keckly was the sole designer and creator of Mary Todd Lincoln's event wardrobe. Keckly founded the Contraband Relief Association, or the CRA, in August 1862, receiving donations from both Lincolns as well as other white patrons and well-to-do free blacks. The organization changed its name in July 1864 to the Ladies, Freedmen, and Soldiers Relief Association to reflect its expanded mission after blacks started serving in the United States colored troops. The CRA provided food, shelter, clothing, and emotional support to recently freed slaves and/or sick and wounded soldiers. The organization was based in Washington, D.C., but the funds distributed and the services provided helped families in the larger region. Elizabeth passed away in May 1907. She is buried at the National Harmony Memorial Park in Landover, Maryland. This has been your Black History Gem of the Day. Until next time.